Around here, my name's Ashley, and today we're doing a live. So I'm going to start off with looking at some of the Kodiak boots that I was sent, and then we'll go into more of a seedling tour and evolve fertilizer, kind of what I'm doing for the mix with them. I apologize for the light behind me. Maybe I'll switch spots. I didn't think it would be that bright, but apparently it is. Okay, that's a bit better. So Kodiak Boots sent me some more shoes, which I am in love with, which also leads me into another part of the video, which is the Pbm Art Giveaway that they're doing. So if you guys want to join in on the Pbm Art Giveaway, you can just check out their website and it will redirect you kind of to the rules for their giveaway. And what it entails is you check in every day and you do kind of the clues that they give, and there is a ton of prizes. So there's everything from a quad, a truck, a $500 Kodiak boot giveaway, and an hour interview or sit down with me over Zoom. And another Canadian gardener also and YouTuber, her name is Kiri, and she is from Our Urban Homestead, Suburban Homestead. So you can find her both on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. So she's more of a blogger than a YouTuber, but she's still really awesome. So these are the ones that Kodiak sent me. They're super cute. I love these, but the other ones I have not yet opened. If you guys didn't know, I had Kodiak boots sent to me just before Christmas, and they are awesome. They last forever. My work boots that I've been using in the garden, they're steel toes, so I've been using them at work, on the farm, everything. They have like zero damage to them, and I wreck everything, you guys. So that's kind of crazy. And then these are the other ones. They're more of like a running shoe, but again, the quality is insane, and they're a Canadian company, so that's really nice as well. And you can get them from you can get them online, Amazon, and you can get them in the US. And then they sent Bob these ones, which are super nice. They're like a hiker, and they're waterproof. Not water resistant, waterproof. So those ones are really nice. And these ones are unique because I had to steal them from him, so he didn't end up using them. They're called Slogan Take a Hike Mid. So, but they have a sticker on them somewhere. Where was that sticker? Oh, they're made with eco-considered material, so recycled plastics, which is really, really cool. So thank you so much, Kodiak, for sending those over. But the reason for showing you those shoes was because if you enter the Pbm Art giveaway, then you can actually get a $500 shopping spree with them, plus an hour on the phone with me where we can talk about everything and anything you want. That can be houseplants, that can be your garden, that could be your homestead, your farm, whatever it is. We will have a chit chat because that's part of the Kodiak portion of the giveaway. But any hoosers. And then the other thing I want to show you was the Evolve fertilizer that I've been using. It's been working really well for me. And this is that organic fertilizer. This isn't sponsored or anything, but I started using their organic all-purpose, which is 312 with all my seedlings, but I also am mixing in parts of the calcium essentials. If you guys didn't know, if you have calcium issues with your soil because your pH is out of whack, again, if you've watched the calcium video, you know that typically speaking, calcium it's not restricted in any way in your soil. It usually has to do with pH. So if you guys have that issue, then try a calcium fertilizer when everything is in seedling stage. That'll make a huge difference with your plants rather than waiting until the issues show up. If you have a calcium deficiency in your plant, it's best to tackle it when they're in seedlings, and it won't show up in seedlings, but it will make a huge difference. It'll actually make a firmer plant, and I've noticed a huge difference when I've used this calcium essentials with my seedlings. I've actually noticed that my plants' cell walls for lack of a better term, are a little bit more firm, and I have a tougher seedling. So I just want to make sure. Okay, so let's look at the seedlings I have started. We're gonna have to move around a little bit in the house because I don't have everything in one single room. But this is probably my prized possession for the whole season. These are artichokes. So I have 3 of these started. I've never grown artichokes ever. If you guys didn't know, the flowers on these are insane. I'm not confident that I will get these to be harvested. They are a 120-day crop, and I'm in zone 3, so that's basically a feat unto itself. But I did start these in February sometime, and these are growing huge, and they're actually they're pretty foliage, but the flowers is what I'm going for mostly. So this is my other one. He's growing a little bit more straight. The other ones kind of went this way and then it went up. No idea why. So these are kind of cool. I thought that these little prickles would be more painful, but they're not. And you guys can see I had chlorosis a while back, and I've been treating that with all my seedlings lately. So that's kind of not the greatest, but that's all right. This one had it really, really bad. This I would actually say is probably scorching. So the other problem I'm having this year is so I put my Mars Hydro light in here, which is the SP150, and I switched out my TS1000. But because it was a brand new light, I didn't realize the intensity of the light, and I actually ended up burning some of my seedlings. So I'll show you kind of what those look like and how I ended up harming them. But I'm just gonna spin you around. I hope it's not too, it's a bit bright, but that's okay. So the other thing I'm doing is cabbage. These are my cabbages. This is a bit far along. I started these a bit early, but these are Copenhagen cabbages, and I have 5 of them because they get really big, and I'm mainly using them for cabbage rolls. So yeah, and then I have a ton of corn started early. You don't have to start corn early. You can get Canadian varieties. They're sweet corn that can be sown direct. These are direct sown ones, but I'm choosing to start them indoors. You don't have to. It's not an absolute necessity. And then what else do I have in here? I want to try to flip you without blinding you guys. I have chives, parsley, lavender, lettuce, spearmint. I have a ton of herbs. So my plan for this year is to do less flowers and more edible stuff. So I'm going to do for my greenery and my flowers, I'm going to be doing more herbs. And so that's the reason for all the herbs that I have. And then for my flowers, I'm trying to do as many edible versions of flowers as possible. So pansies, nasturtiums, that sort of thing. We'll see how it goes. If I don't like it, I won't do it again. But I'm trying to make my entire garden, regardless of what it is, edible. That's like my thing. So you guys have to let me know if that's something that you're into or not. But usually I just do your very classic flowers, bulbs, whatever. But I'm trying to make a fully edible garden, but also have like the nice touch, I guess you could say, of flowers or floral decorativeness. So yeah. So that's everything in this tent here. It doesn't seem like I pulled out a lot, but I promise you. Oh, and I have pansies in here too. And I have purple basil. Okay, check this out. I've never grown this before, but like I said, I'm trying to make a fully edible garden. So all my pots, containers, everything is going to be eatable. And so I needed color and variations in color. So I decided, my cat's trying to come through here. I decided to do different colored foliage. And so I found purple basil and it's literally purple. It is like a dark purple. It's so, so pretty. So yeah, that's really cool. This is, I think this is catnip. Oh no, that's oregano. So this is my oregano. And I have thyme, parsley, cilantro, chives. Yeah, there's like a ton of herbs in this. So that is the plan, and that's why I'm really herb heavy. So now I'm gonna move you guys. I'm sorry if you get motion sickness, but we have to go up here to look at Miss Ella. She's hanging out. Oh, that's better lighting. Okay, so up here are my T5s, which are going in the garbage after this. Well, I'm changing the bulbs out to see if that helps, but something's not right. Either my ballasts aren't pumping out enough energy or my bulbs are toast, because my thyme looks like this, and that's really, really leggy, and that's not good. So I gotta switch those out. And then these are my black-eyed Susans. These aren't an issue, like they're not an invasive problem here in Saskatchewan, but there was someone that said on one of the videos, I can't remember, it was the video for plants I'll never plant again, and someone said black-eyed Susans, and I believe they were in Canada zone 6, so that'd be USDA 7. So be warned that black-eyed Susans apparently in those zones are less than ideal. So Ella came to the Miss Ella came to the greenhouses with me yesterday to look at houseplants and stuff, and she was a big hit. Everyone was a big fan of her, weren't they, Ella? So they were blown away that she doesn't fly away, and I was like, no, she knows where the food comes from. She doesn't want to go anywhere. So okay, let's move out here. You're about to see some of my house. I apologize if it is at all messy. That's my lack of cleanliness, I guess. But here I can't really show you, but this is some more seeds I just started. So this is mostly regular basil and then nasturtiums. These are tomatoes I've moved, that's Cole. These are tomatoes I've actually moved out of the grow tent and I've separated because I'm pretty confident they have blight. And if I can find a good one to show you guys, I don't think these will make it. Yeah, so you see how it's really crusty, that stem? That's blight. And it's infectious, so it will take out all my tomatoes if I let it. So those ones have been completely taken out. They're sitting on my kitchen counter here, and they're gonna have a week to recover. I treated them. If they don't come back, they're going in the garbage. And then I'm also starting Noodle Beans, and they're huge. Like, they are multi-foot string beans, and they are a 90 or an 80-day growing period. So I had to start them inside early. Now they don't transplant well. I know they don't transplant well because they are a vine. So it could completely flop on me, you guys. It may not work, but I'll let you know if it does or not. It may completely flop entirely. What else is new that I haven't shown you guys? My dogs are in the backyard making a mess. I have a greenhouse set up. It's a Magi-Dome Greenhouse. I'm gonna save that one for you guys. I'm really excited about it. It's a Canadian company as well, and they sell all over the world. And essentially, it's like these little connectors, and you use really cheap, inexpensive wood to make a polygon, like a dome, a 5-sided dome. And it's worked out really well. It's taken on snow and everything and hasn't collapsed or anything crazy. So it's really, really nice. So we're going in the basement now, which you guys have never been. Oh no, the Vivo Sun video, you would have been down here. So we just ripped out all our carpet because we're replacing the basement flooring. Jack's like, I'm gonna go inside of your grow tent. So this is where my other seedlings are. This has 4 trays in it, and really these aren't seedlings anymore. These are full-blown plants, you guys. They're ginormous. So this is the grow tent. This is the Vivo Sun grow tent. So inside of here, we have a ton of stuff, including stuff that's flowering, which is less than ideal, but I'm just clipping the flowers back as they come. So this needs to be watered, but these are my petunias, which were under those T5 lights. So nightmare, absolute nightmare. So you can see, because those T5s are kind of going that it's getting really leggy. So what I'm probably gonna have to do is I'm probably gonna have to chop this back and then start over from there. What else is in here? Oh, you've probably seen like these really nice splashes of red and stuff. These are my Coleus. I started from seed. These guys you can overwinter though. Aren't they they're such pretty flowers. You can overwinter them and make them into like a bush or a tree. I don't do that, but you can take cuttings from these guys. I did a multi-pack from Mackenzie's Seeds, and yeah, I got so many different colors and like variations. So I have like this hot pink version with green. I have a purple and green. I have a lime green on green, really, really cool. And then I have tomatoes and Brussels sprouts. So these are my, oh, you can't see them in that photo. So these are my tomatoes. And these were just transplanted, so they're not looking too happy with me, but they'll come back. So besides being super PO'd, they are a whole bunch of different kinds. I've got tons of different varieties. I have orange ones, just your regular Romas. I have beefsteaks. I have black crims, purples, you name it. And then I have all my peppers, which are a mix of Hungarians and other stuff. And then I have my Brussels sprouts. These need to be watered too. But my Brussels sprouts, these were started way too early. The Brussels sprouts were too. And then yeah, all my peppers. I have 2 cannabis plants in here right now. And then other than that, that is it. And I have some more herbs. But I'm gonna need to put like a fan in here. I'm having a really bad year with soil mold, and also a bad year with seeds not germinating. I don't know. And I was talking to another gardener about it, the Mighty Mustache, and he mentioned his seeds as well. He's having a really hard time with them as too in getting them to germinate. I hope some of these tomatoes don't have blight, because if they do, I'm gonna have to toss this entire thing, which would be super duper wonderful. Just kidding. So let's see what you guys are all talking about. Oh, I can't even go that high. Why won't YouTube? YouTube's also been really mean to me lately. So I've noticed that, well, people have been telling me that people who were subscribed are suddenly being unsubscribed, which is really irritating. Then I've had people tell me that they're not getting any notifications on my videos. And then I started realizing when I went on my YouTube studio that it only shows me certain comments. So I'm not even seeing everyone's comments anymore. And I don't know if it's because they didn't update to something or like what the heck happened, but kind of upsetting. Hello from New York. Maggie mushroom, overwintered black creme. Oh yeah, overwintering tomatoes, that's like ideal. First live you're seeing mine. Sometimes you guys can bake it, sometimes you can't. That's okay though. I eat the weeds as they go. Oh, Amaranth, Ontario. Everyone from Ontario is here. What time? It's really late in Ontario, isn't it? It's like 8:30 for you guys right now. But do you guys have any other questions? If not, I'm done. That's my whole seedling tour. I started a lot of stuff outside. A lot of stuff. I don't do too much. Well, I guess maybe this is probably a lot for someone who's starting out, but I don't do a ton indoors. I find that plants just do better when they're planted outside. I had a question on Instagram not too long ago, I think like a day or two ago, where someone was asking whether or not they should plant their seeds before their frost-free date and if that's a good idea or not. And you can do that if you want. The biggest thing is that your soil heat, like there's enough heat in the soil to germinate the seeds. And then you don't want to do it too soon because you don't want to end up with frost damaged plants. So to avoid that when possible, you're going to want to either cover them when they come up. You can't have a ton of leaves on them because they will get frostbitten despite being grown outside, but you can start a little bit early. I'm in zone 3. Our last frost-free date isn't until the end of May, like May 25th. Probably wouldn't be planting outside right now. There's a lot of people who are. I find that weird, but I wouldn't do it. I would probably wait actually until 2 weeks before your last frost-free date if you're really itching to get into the garden. The only difference is that if you were doing like onion sets or something, those you could start earlier, like by a month. And that's just because onion leaves typically are really resistant to any sort of frost. And not only that, but they do better when they're planted early because it actually prevents against a lot of pests and that sort of thing. So Jack is standing right in front of me getting petted, and he's a little shedder. Oh, Jeff from Everything Plants is here. If you guys want houseplant info, Everything Plants, in the comments, he says hello from Regina. That is the gentleman to go to. He also is starting a garden channel called Everything Garden, so go check that out too. Oh, what strain of cannabis plant? I don't know. So I actually have no idea. It is a plant that I got with from a company out in BC. So I got just like the little gummy, like CBD gummy things just to help you like go to sleep at night and stuff. And with it, I guess I was like part of some sort of promo and they sent me a bunch of seeds. And so I just germinated like a handful of them just to see. But then I realized that they're not feminized seeds. So I could have 2 females and 0 males. So now literally today I'm soaking my seeds now for 24 hours and then I'll be potting them up here very, very shortly. Because like I said, I have no idea what I have. No idea what I have. So I gotta deal with that. And I have to plant some more. But literally the bag said Mother Nature's greenhouse or something. And that's it. So that's a fun fact. 24 degrees yesterday, 0 today, and snowing. Southern Alberta. Southern Saskatchewan's also been absolutely pelted with a combination of high heat and snow. And that's why when I'm seeing like a lot on Instagram, mostly Instagram influencers are like gearing up to start planting. And so I've seen a lot of people putting seeds in the ground, especially this weekend, because Saskatoon was 20 degrees yesterday. It was like 10 degrees today, really nice and warm. But if you look at the forecast, it's supposed to snow again on Thursday. So people just need to take a breath. If you need something to do or you want to have fun outside, then literally start testing and muddling around with your soil, figure out what soil type you have, figure out your percolation rates, like understand your soil a bit better. And my book has that, my little ebook on soil testing. So that's a good way or a good place to start. Not a seedling question, more of a house plant. Do you have advice on plants that are getting crispy leaves, mostly the baby ones, even though the soil is very moist and has, what kind of soil are you using? And is it potentially salt? So do you have salty tap water? Are you over fertilizing? That would be my first thought, especially when you're talking about baby leaves, like tiny new leaves having crispy ends on them. Typically might be a sign of salt buildup. Crispy leaves on older leaves can mean moisture, or it could just mean that the leaf is on its way out, especially if it's lower down on the plant. Because leaves do drop. It is a plant, they age and stuff falls off. Planted peas already, sometimes I do them in late fall. Yeah, you're a bit warmer though, right, mushroom magpie? I'm pretty sure you're in a couple zones higher, but peas, yeah, you could do those a little bit earlier. They are relatively robust. Baby leaves constantly dying. I think it's a soil problem. Plant is for Ninginum. Is your soil really dry? Maybe that's what your issue is. Ontario here too, yes, almost 9. Yeah, Ontario was warm there for a while, and then you guys just got really, really cold. Hello from Oregon. Hello. Auto flowering plants outside, they're heavily pollinated by the hemp crops upwind. Yeah, hemp in general is really starting to get pretty big in Saskatchewan. They're not cannabis, but actual hemp crops. Kind of cool. And actually how the farmers deal with the dead fallow is interesting, because cannabis is similar to flax in a sense, where it doesn't break down very easily, and the byproduct foliage is just super dense and you can't get rid of it. So 88 degrees here. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but I feel like judging from that emoji, that means it's hot and I would not do well. South Carolina, that would also be hot. Crispy leaves, nom nom. The mighty mustache, he's the pepper guy. He's a pepper dude. I love you, Ashley, you're the best. I don't... By the way, Bobby, mighty mustache, I had like randomly 4 pepper plants when I transplanted them completely go belly up, just out of nowhere. I think I have blight. I think I have really bad blight in literally all my plants, and I just have to deal with it accordingly. Like, I'm so... this year's horrible for me. So I had the worst seed germination of all time. It didn't matter what brand I used, what was going on. Worst seed germination I've ever had in my entire life. And now all of my seeds are going and good. I have a ton of seeds that are just like, or seedlings that are just getting bacterial infections and stuff. It's insane. I've never, ever had this issue before. And I'm literally trying to limp my way through to the end in hopes of getting something out of this year. But I swear, how did you get blight? I don't know. I don't know if it's from my potting soil, because I tried that new stuff, that Jiffy seed starter mix. It's the first time I'd ever tried loose potting soil that wasn't in a Jiffy pod. First time ever. And every single container that I used that potting soil in, it just like didn't work. And then I have fans on, like I have them shut off right now for the video, but I've got exhaust fans in here and everything in hopes of like moving air. I've got this giant ass double fan that takes air out and puts fresh air in. I've got that running in here nonstop. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's a bad year for me. Take them out of the... Yeah, so that's what I did. You weren't here for the beginning of the video. So I have some That is up 31 degrees Celsius. I just saw that. Oh my God. How? It's like literally April. That's insane. I have some upstairs on my kitchen table. Yeah. Those ones I think I'm going to have to toss though, because they're like super duper sick. Oh, you're in Saskatoon. That's right. You're where I am. I'm in Saskatoon. I hope the next generation use Miracle Grow moisture retentive soil. I don't fertilize much, but apparently soil likes to be constantly moist. No, is it like a Calathea or a Maranta or something like that? Because if it is, then I'd probably watch my video on those guys, and that might give you a better understanding on that. Hi, I love your channel. Well, thank you so much. Scarborough. That's in Ontario, right? Yes, very hot. Not sure in Celsius. 31. That's what it is. Me too. I have very bad germination this year. I think it's the soil. I couldn't get my usual brand. Yeah. We are under a fire watch. Hello from two people from Calgary back to back. Look at that. I think it's something called powdery mildew on one of my plants. I thought it was mealybugs. Is this a death sentence? Yes, it is, unfortunately. It depends on how bad it is. Linda, what I would do is I would probably try to spray on some milk. Honestly, milk helps, but it's not good if you have any sort of powdery mildew. Or send me a photo and I'll tell you what it is. Neem it. Yeah, it's not great. Or remove the foliage. It could be from your soil. If you're reusing potting soil and it had powdery mildew from before, then that is... Oh, Chicken Johnny. He's got a YouTube channel too, you guys. Go check it out. USA, Illinois. So yeah, I don't know. I would check that out. I've had... this year's just not a good year. And Bobby's on here too. He can even say his home, like his seeds he has at home, his homegrown seeds that he's like picked aren't germinating. It just, is that weird, you guys? Is there something in the air that's not COVID, that's something else? Firefly, not a Calathea. Oh, sorry, yeah, that's right. Hard to diagnose. Yeah, I would look into that. I want to see it salt, but you could send me a photo of it too, and I could take a look of it. I throw a light layer of dry mix on top of the plant, keeps the moisture wicking out. 60%. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like, I swear something's going on because I don't have bad germination rates. Mine are usually so high, and I have like half full trays, and it's just irritating. Anyways, I hope I don't have to buy a bunch of stuff at the freaking greenhouse this year, which may end up being the case because I'm low on plants, just judging from how things are going for me right now. So I have almost 100%. Well, we're jealous because I did not have that luck. I honestly think it's kind of like, I quite honestly think it's the soil. There's someone else in here. Was it? Yeah, it was Adora. She's saying that she had really bad germination rates this year, and she said it was because of the soil. She couldn't get her usual brand, which is what happened to me. Is I didn't get my usual stuff that I get, and I got this other brand, and now I'm wondering if it has caused low germination, but then also potentially caused like a blight issue. I'm not sure. So I'm trying to keep everything like on the drier side too, but we'll just have to wait and see. Plus then those T5s didn't help, and oh my God. Super hot, so it's already a crapshoot. Yeah. I'll just send you photos of my peppers, Bobby. Literally, they're not doing good at all. But I'm pretty confident it's blight. Like the one leaf I'm looking at, I'd pull it out, but it's like a tray of 6, so it's gonna be really hard to get out. But it's got like bacterial blotching on it, which is meh. I pray for your seedlings and Reiki them. Yeah, water with a bit of prep. Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Jack is like literally sitting like right there. And he's just staring at watching me talk. He's like, what are you talking to? Hey, little baby. Hi from Saskatchewan. Hello from Saskatchewan. Are you in southern Saskatchewan where it was really, really cold? So where they're germinated in is pretty warm actually because it's the bird room, and so I can't keep it cool, but the basement's cool. So hi, Jack. Adora says hi. Say hi. Yeah. Quebec. So yeah, anyways, if you guys don't have any other questions, yeah, the south. Oh, so you got absolutely rocked by snow lately. I've seen photos. Southern Saskatchewan and southern Alberta, you guys, feel really bad for them right now. They got a ton of snow. Some places got like friggin' a foot or more. So yeah. Yes, I grow catnip for my cats. I do grow catnip. It brings a lot of cats around. So I had 3 stray cats in my backyard last year, but yeah, what you can do. They enjoyed it. It's gonna be a long year gardening. I'm already getting overwhelmed. I haven't even started yet. Thinking of doing container gardening on a budget. What would be your recommendation? Yeah, so if you're gonna start container gardening, I would go with cloth pots because they're a lot cheaper than the plastic or the ceramic, and they don't fall apart easily like a whole bunch of other ones do. There's quite a few pots that, if they're plastic or ceramic, won't make a Canadian winter or a cold climate winter for that matter. So, or 5-gallon buckets, anything like that. So if you're trying to do it on a budget, just utilize old containers in general that are plastic. And there's 4 or 5 different plastics you can use for growing. Hello from Toronto. Toronto. Yeah, 3 feet in some places. Yeah, feel bad for them, you guys. Oh, Central Alberta. A foot tall. Jeez, that's like my artichokes that I showed everybody earlier. I love my artichokes. I'm so proud of them. Suggestions on making your own soil. There's so many different ways of doing this. So if you're talking soil-less versus soil, there's a bit of a difference. So there is a subscriber on here. His name is Scott Smith. He's actually on the Patreon too. And so he makes his own soilless mix with shredded leaves, literally shredded leaves. So it's been working really well for him. So there's that way of doing it. And then you can do a combination of compost, but there's no way to physically make soil. So soil, oddly enough, could be very simply called a non-renewable resource. Once it's gone, because it's inorganic and it's made by glaciers and environmental mechanical breakdown. It's literally, it's impossible to make. So once it's gone, it is gone. And that's kind of the premise for the Netflix series, Shredded Leaves Like Leaf Mold. No, literally shredded leaves. He literally takes his leaves from the fall and shreds them, and then he mixes them into his into a topsoil, and then he adds like a perlite or a pumice or something like that. And so yeah, that's and it doesn't mold or anything. He's got a really good setup for that, and he uses it in his containers and everything. So I have a Patreon. Yeah, I do. And I have a Discord. No idea how to use it. No one's on it. I haven't told anyone about it. Well, now you guys know, but I don't know how to use Discord. I am so overwhelmed and confused by it. I just literally set it up and then I quit because I just didn't understand it. And then the Patreon, I do have a Patreon, but my Patreon is, I didn't say anything about that either. It's just like the odd hardcore Gardening Canada fan has found it and joined it. And on it, I basically do previews for all my videos. So my uncut, like no thumbnail, no description, no nothing gets thrown up there. And I think like I have my videos scheduled over a month in advance, you guys. So when you're watching the videos, that, like the ones from next week, were probably honestly filmed for the most part like a month prior to, and it's just because that's my schedule and how it works for me. So I got hot in Vancouver. No, that's the worst. Bolting lettuce. Oh, mine did that last year too. My cats have been going to town with my dill seeds. I think I'll have to invest in a grow tent too. Honestly, that's why I have the grow tent, because these little buggers, he's like literally sleeping in my lap right now, but these little buggers are always trying to eat my plants. Edinburgh. Hello, Mercy. Where are you from? I don't even know how to pronounce that. What's the best way to keep weeds out of the garden? Oh, this is so hard, you guys. Okay, so Louise said this, mulch does help. The reason why mulch is so awesome at this is because it has the ability to, it has the ability to release toxins into the soil. I know that sounds weird, but through phytoremediation, certain plants are able to suck up toxins from the soil into their foliage, and then it's stored in the foliage, and then as the plant degrades through mulch, when we mulch, what ends up happening is we end up with a bunch of release of toxins, and those toxins will help prevent germination of weed seedlings. Now, I wouldn't mulch if I'm starting seeds. You want to lay your mulch after your seedlings have germinated and they start coming back. So if you wait until you have plants, more so, it's a better choice than putting your seeds in and then mulching, because the mulch will actually keep your seeds down as well. So if you're transplanting, mulch, or if you're doing seedlings, wait for your seedlings to come up. That's ideal. Going to be -10, yeah. Yeah, you must be in Saskatchewan, because that's what it's supposed to be here. Do you use glacial rock dust in your plants? It can be added. I don't use glacial rock dust. I got to do a video on that because there's lots of micronutrients in it and everything, but there's a bit of a knack to using it properly. Carefully squeezing the bottle into a measured spoon, and it squirts everywhere. No! Do you have it's the Gatorade cap, right? So I don't measure my organic fertilizer, you guys. Do as I say, not as I do. I don't at all measure my organic fertilizer, mostly because organic fertilizer typically isn't salty, and you can't really over fertilize with organic. So I don't measure. I've never told you guys that before, but I literally just squirt it in the water container that I'm using, or if I'm doing like a bigger house plant, I will squirt it directly in the soil, and then I will water the soil. Or what you should do preferably is water your soil first with just water, then squirt in your organic fertilizer, and then give it a bit more water. Because if you put your fertilizer on first and then you water, you're actually just gonna wash all your water soluble fertilizers right to the bottom of the profile, because they're gonna flow with the water and with gravity rather than catching onto the soil. So you actually always want to fertilize wet soil. Fun fact. Tasmania, holy crap. Gary, that's crazy. And thank you. I'm glad that you think that they're educational. Some days when I watch them back, I'm like, oh, I forgot literally you can hear Jack purring. Okay, maybe I'll get rid of him. He's really cute right now, though. He's like, you're a bit of a sucker, babe. Yeah. He's like, I know I am. Do you grow rhubarb? If you do you have tips on dividing the shoots? A shovel. Literally, just shovel hack them. I have just a little bit of rhubarb, but I've stolen lots of rhubarb from people, and planted it all over. I'm just gonna move because I don't want Jack to, and I hear my dogs barking and I don't want them to. I have really bad neighbors that constantly call animal control and stuff on my dogs because I don't like them, which I find weird, but anyways, I just want to grab them real quick. Oh, there's a bird. Yeah, you can hear Kane, Bronx. They have a dog beside us that they're playing with. I'm just gonna sit out here with them. Oh, Bronx was digging in the garden. That's wonderful. So yeah, I would just hack them up. There's no wrong or poor way of doing rhubarb. You can do them whichever way you want. Kane says hi. Don't measure. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't measure. I should do a video and show you guys what I do. I literally just squirt it in. But I only do that with inorganic. With organic. I don't do that with inorganic because it just doesn't work. So just hold on one second. Kane! Kenny! He loves this puppy. Come here. Come here. Go, 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 go. What a knob. No, you're not going to visit the puppy. He loves this puppy next door. It's like a little German Shepherd puppy. Yes, Bronx, you go inside too. And so he tries to play with him all the time. But it drives people crazy. The purring is adorable. Yeah, edible weeds. I have a video on that, but there's one book that's really, really good. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, the Boreal Herb. It's Canadian. It's about boreal forest plants you can eat or that are edible. Anyways, they're really, really, it's a good book for that sort of thing. I ordered compost from a local delivery company. They delivered a mixture that is mostly undecomposed. Oh, okay. So that compost comment, I have had really bad luck with compost as well, being undecomposed wood chips. So I got some last year that I applied to my garden that was undecomposed, and there's a few things. So the first thing you're gonna notice is that when you go to water, it's gonna be really hydrophobic. And so you're going to want to find something that will be, it's called a surfactant, for example, that you're gonna wanna use on that compost layer when you go to water. Because what will happen is you will end up with dead zones in the soil. And those dead zones, the roots, there will be no water there, and you're just gonna really upset your plants. So you can get soil surfactants. Just go to like a local store somewhere, let them know what happened, and they should have it on the shelf. If not, or if it's just not in the budget, I don't know how much they are, you can use dish soap, and the dish soap will help the water penetrate into the soil. You don't want a lot, you just want a few drops. So if you do like a drop every 2 feet, that's probably more than enough. And then when you go to water, it will help permeate the soil. So very, very important. I had that last year too, and I have a video, no, I haven't posted it yet. I have a video coming out about nitrogen and mulch and how wood chips will take nitrogen out of the soil. So last year when I had that, I had a really bad season in the areas that I had that compost in. And I think it's because it was just between the fact that the water wasn't getting to the profile and the nitrogen was being sucked out of the profile. Not sucked out, it's sequestered in microbes that is not bioavailable until the following year or years later. So it all depends, but keep that in mind. I got commercial compost from the city center, and It won't. Yeah, you got the same compost as I did. You got the exact same. So yeah, the city compost in Saskatoon it's free, which is awesome, but it's not decomposed enough. And I don't know if it's because of the demand that they're doing that, like because of high demand, they just say screw it. And they make it available for people despite the fact that it's not ready. That compost should probably be home composted for a little bit longer, because I did it and hydrophobic, plus it had a really poor yield in the areas that I had it in. Now, if you use that compost as a mulch, for example, in like a perennial bed or something, then it's going to work wonders for preventing weeds from coming up. But also, mushroom magpie, I don't know if you knew this, but I use that compost and I'm 125% confident that I got that bluebell, that invasive bluebell flower from it. Because I have that bluebell like all over my garden in the area that I put that compost. So I'm pissed. And because that stuff, literally, if you guys have that, it is a noxious weed. Like it will take over your garden. So I have to deal with that this year. It's in this one corner over here, thank God, that's surrounded by cement brick. But if it gets past my pond into like my hosta shade area, I'm going to be so upset. So I'm not using the city compost this year. I thought it was a good idea. I thought I was doing a good thing, but no. Do you have natural ways of controlling cabbage butterflies? Yeah, can't grow anything in the brassica family because they are so bad. Okay, so that's a great question. There's no way to control them without either diatomaceous earth sprinkled all over the cabbage or a very fine net placed over top of the cabbage. Or what my mother-in-law likes to do is women's pantyhose, the nylon stuff. She will actually put the whole thing over top of the cabbage, and as the cabbage grows, the nylon will stretch. And so she swears by it, and it works really, really well for her. I personally just use the diatomaceous earth, but I've never had them that bad. I know that my mother-in-law has had them that bad, and so that is why she does the nylon trick. And it seems to work really, really well for her. So something to keep in mind there. Hello from Maureen Heights, Quebec. We have 2 people from Quebec on here right now. And hello, how are you? What's the weather like in Quebec? We've already discussed the weather in Ontario and the weather in Saskatchewan and Alberta and BC. But we haven't discussed Manitoba or Quebec or any of the sites on the outer coast, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. What do you do for slugs? Okay, so I'm going to do a video on this. I haven't done it yet because it's not the season for it where I am, but for slugs, you guys, there's a fix to it that no one talks about. I am from Saskatchewan. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So love the idea. Yeah, so 8 degrees tonight. Hey, nighttime of 8 degrees, not bad. You guys are doing good. You're not Vancouver Island hot like we were talking about before, but you're still warm. So SAS. Yeah, slugs. I'm gonna do a video on this, but honestly, the best way to control slugs isn't diatomaceous earth. Beer works. Beer does work very well. The problem is with beer, though, is it's temporary. So it gets rid of what exists. It doesn't keep anything out of the area. So the best way to control slugs is a combination of predatory nematodes. Same with ants, you guys. If you want to get rid of your ants, predatory nematodes. If you want to get rid of slugs, predatory nematodes. They work wonders. They aren't going to be the same predatory nematodes that I've talked about for the houseplant series, but these would be specific slug ones or ant ones. You can get a combo one that will have like a little bit of everything, but predatory nematodes are your best friends with slugs or snails. The other thing is copper. They hate copper. I don't know what it is, but slugs and snails despise it. And you don't really need that much. You can get copper rings, you can get copper stakes, you can literally just dig copper dowels into the ground. It will keep them away. They absolutely hate it. And then you just leave it there. And you can get really pretty copper actually that looks almost decorative, and you won't even notice that it's in your garden, but it will keep away those slimy little things. Manitoba here, we had a bit of a winter storm today. Yeah, okay, so in my real job, that's not YouTube, we have a hydrous trailer that was built, and it's like a fertilizer trailer that hauls fertilizer, and we had it brought from the US, from Minnesota into Manitoba, across the border there, and it got stuck in Winnipeg because of the snowstorm that you guys had. The trucking company and all the highways were shut down, and that was just last week. So I believe it. You guys are absolutely slaughtered. It's only like 2 degrees here in Fillmore. Yeah, so in Saskatchewan it was 19 yesterday and it was 10 today. And I'm not bragging because literally Thursday it's getting super cold again and it's gonna snow. Radishes are going in this week. Seedlings are doing great in the basement. Whoopsies. All term seedlings died. Oh, that's not good. It is a really weird, well, I could show you guys my cherry tomatoes. I'm pretty sure that's blight, but yeah. So it has been a really weird spring in Saskatchewan. It's all over the map and it's really confusing. So I don't have anything in my greenhouse yet because I'm really, really scared of it getting super cold just randomly one night. So I'm leaving everything inside until I'm ready. We'll see what happens, but I'm gonna go, you guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic Sunday evening. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I don't even know how to shut this off. Just kidding. I figured it out.